Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Tuesday, February 13th, 12 o'clock Eastern time show. Jimmy the Bag. I usually heat up in February. Yesterday, not in the show, but in my personal betting, I hit everything, Jimmy the Bag, yesterday. I hit everything. You notice my leans in college basketball? They all cashed, right? Siena, Colgate, everything, Jim. You swept NBA.
NHL.
Right, yeah. You swept NHL, had a couple nice picks in NBA, and college basketball was a little bit off for you, Jimmy the Bag.
A little bit off? I got fucking destroyed.
You did get fucking destroyed. But listen, I mean, I thought you were on the wrong side in the under in West Virginia. Some of the other plays were just, not necessarily indefensible, right, Jim? How are you feeling in general right now?
Angry.
You're angry. But so the fact that you swept the NHL means absolutely nothing.
It helps a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You have a great night in one sport, a terrible night in the other sport. The terrible night kills you. The great night helps a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you feeling bad, Jim?
It's just it was an upsetting night. The 4-0. I expect to succeed in hockey, and I don't expect to get destroyed in college basketball. And,
listen,
it was just. I didn't sleep very much. I'm very angry. I went to sleep angry and woke up angry.
Well, here you go. Look at this. Ant-Man says, awesome show. Loshak and the Bag are the shit. He didn't say awesome show, Loshak is the shit. He said awesome show, Loshak and the Bag are the shit. How does that make you feel?
Hey, I love these guys.
A little bit.
Yeah, I knew I would get better as the day goes on, But fuck, man.
The truth is that college basketball there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of unpredictability. Even if you have a dead-on system that is profitable, you're going to have some unexpected results, a lot of unexpected results, because once again, as people talk about all the time, these are 19-year-old kids, Jim, right?
Yeah. As
dumb and irresponsible as we are, these guys are dumb as irresponsible as we are squared, because they're 19. They don't even have the 15 years of maturity, believe it or not, that we actually have on them.
Yeah, it was just very bothersome. We don't want to fucking wallow in fucking pity, but yeah, the hockey's going well, basketball's going well.
Yeah.
And, this was a really difficult card, but I have a ton of things that I like in the NHL. I kept all the 18 pro games in entirety, so I'm ready to hammer this, and then I'm ready to study all afternoon, and I'm not going to go out like this in college basketball.
I mean, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Jim. You're killing it in this is a very important thing in sports betting, right? Can you be one of those guys who has a profitable ROI in every sport? No, because those guys don't exist. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe there's like Billy Walter, one guy who does that. But in general, what you have to do in life in general and in sports betting is go with your strengths. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And recognize your strengths. And, and the other thing is that there's a lot of, I used to be bad in NBA. I'm still maybe bad in NBA. It doesn't mean that I enjoy capping NBA any less. It just means that, A, I'm trying to get better at it. And B, when I'm actually betting, I'm not actually going to bet a big unit size until I feel like I have a good edge. You know what I'm saying? And I do have a good edge in NBA on second half plays, Jim, but on the pre-games and on the full game sides and totals, I still don't have a positive expectation. So what does that mean? Does that mean that I stop handicapping it? That I don't enjoy handicapping it? No, it just means that I don't bet big amounts until I have a positive expectation. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, I feel you. It's just extremely aggravating. But before I get angrier, let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to Sed Porter. It's his birthday today. Sed Porter, thank you for being a part of this show. We love you guys so much. So happy birthday! Let's get some winners for you. Let's get it rolling.
Yeah, and I don't know if Antoine Seymour is watching right now, but shout out to Antoine Seymour from for yesterday who said just stick to your guns, Pete. He just told me just stick to your guns, Pete. I should have given a Siena as an official play, and I was on Texas with you. I don't think that was a bad play, Jim. I mean, Texas Baylor was a better team. I don't know if that was a bad play, Jim. I lost with you, and when I look at that, there's some plays that I give where I'm like, yeah, I was on the wrong side. We were both on Texas yesterday. It lost. We might have been on the wrong side, but I'm not 100% convinced of that, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? I am getting angrier.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
And one thing that is definitely interesting is that, and as you saw yesterday, hugely controversial game, NC Greensboro, Eastern Tennessee State. It doesn't mean that the people who like Eastern Tennessee State were necessarily on the wrong side It just shows you how there's strong opinions on both sides most of these games, right?
Yeah, and shows you how important home court advantage is.
It
in
does,
college
Jim.
basketball.
It does, and we're going to remember that, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And look at the Siena game was against Iona. Does that mean that Iona isn't a much better team? No, it means that home court advantage really matters.
Yeah, and that under would have hit if it didn't go to overtime.
Yeah, so there you go. That's going to happen. That's par for the course. That's going to happen. All right, so let's move on. Let's start with we're going to start with college basketball. All right, Jim. I assume you didn't look at any of the card today.
I mean, I looked at it, but it was 18 games. That takes a long time.
All right, so I did look at them. I'm just going to highlight some of the important games that obviously we're going to look at in the 6 o'clock show. And I did once again make some bets on the overnight lines, and I think I'm going to give them just because at this point in the college basketball season, I'm starting to trust my instincts and my opinions, right, Jim?
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, very interesting game that I did not make a bet on or have an opinion on. Virginia is now the number 1 ranked team. Is that true? Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Virginia is the number 1 ranked team. Unbelievable. So now they're a 6-point road favorite. And one thing about college basketball is that obviously home court advantage is huge, but when you're talking about like the elite teams, number 1, 2, and 3 teams, it tends to sometimes be a little bit less important. Those teams just dominate, So I'm not sure what I think about that, but we will definitely get into it. That's certainly an interesting matchup. And then we have the 2nd-ranked team, Michigan State. I did bet this one. Michigan State at Minnesota. The line when I handicapped that game was 10.5. You want to guess what my bet was? Michigan State at Minnesota. What do you think I bet, Jim?
I bet you took Michigan State.
No, I took Minnesota plus 10.5. Now, Michigan State's a way better team, right? But we know that they are prone to not necessarily playing elite for an entire span of games. I mean, entire 40 minutes. And now we got Minnesota, a worse team, getting double digits. I bet it at 10.5, and I will start things off by putting Minnesota as an official play here. Minnesota plus 10, minus 109. Again, I bet it at 10.5. Michigan State clearly the better team, but I think in this spot, wasn't there a spot recently where I said the same thing about Michigan State and they did lose ATS, like they won the game, but they lost ATS because they just didn't put it together for the full game?
Yeah.
Was it against Indiana
recently
or something? I can't remember who it was. But anyway, similar situation here, obviously. Oh, yeah, and it was a game because I remember King Rail said that Michigan State would roll, and he was wrong on that one, although he was right when he said that Portland was going to roll against they were on a back-to-back. In the NBA, remember when Portland was on a back-to-back recently?
Against Sacramento.
Against Sacramento, and I took
18.
Sacramento plus 5, and King Rail said Portland was going to roll, and I was like, really? Are they that good that they're going to roll in a back-to-back? And damn, they did. Does Portland have a game tonight in NBA? I don't remember. No, I don't think so. That's an interesting team, though, Jim.
I think they're a good team.
Yeah.
I think that we'll find value with them moving forward.
So, I'm taking Minnesota. I bet it at 10.5. I'm going to give it as a pick here at plus 10, minus 109, even though Michigan State definitely the better team. Other games that are interesting on the card, Oklahoma. You see this all the time in college basketball, a team that has, a legit star, a legit lottery pick, right? And they tend to get overvalued in college basketball. We saw that with Washington with Markelle Fultz, LSU with Simmons, LSU with Shaquille O'Neal. You see it all the time with these kinds of teams, right? And that is what's happening with Oklahoma here. I did bet Oklahoma plus 7.5 against Texas Tech, though. Texas Tech is a great team, obviously, this year. But and obviously Texas Tech. Oh, wait, when they first played, who won, Texas Tech or Oklahoma? I can't remember.
The first time they met this year?
Yeah, I can't remember. But at any rate, I think Oklahoma won. No, Oklahoma won. But I'm going to take I did bet Oklahoma at 7.5. I know that Oklahoma's been a bad bet this year. I know that they're overvalued in general. And I have lost taking Oklahoma a few times recently. But I did bet it, and I'm going to make this one an official pick, even though this might be the wrong side. I'm sure that a lot of people right now in chat and in the 6 o'clock show will be saying, no, Pete, don't do it. No, Pete, don't do it, which they also told me about the Knicks team total under yesterday, which cashed, although that was looking like a loser for most of the way.
Only Ole Miss is saying take Texas Tech minus 7.5. Russell Beiswanger is more into the blue color on you, Pete. Says he loves it.
Yes. This is a hip shirt. Blue is authoritative, Jim. The reason I wear blue is that it makes you look like you are authoritative and know what you're talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
I'm taking every angle I can get.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The mustache makes me look like I know what I'm talking about. The ponytail makes me look like I know what I'm talking about. And the blue. This is a nice blue, Jim. Thank you, Russell Beiswanger, for noticing that. This was intentional today. I was like, I'm going to wear a nice, powerful, authoritative shirt. All right, this is a tough one because definitely, maybe Oklahoma's a good bet on the first half. For right now, I'm going to take it. I might take it back in the 6 o'clock show. This is one where I'm going to be interested to see what you have to say about this game, Jim. I know you're thinking like, who cares what I have to say? But no, I care what you have to say about this game, Chip. You know what I'm saying, Chip?
Thanks, buddy.
I really do. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, no, I believe you. You fill me with confidence. So
And I know
so does Bill Buttlicker.
Yeah.
You know, all you guys do, man.
That summarizes Jim's 2018. Bill Buttlicker fills me with confidence. No, he really does. No, he really does. That's Jim's 2018 slogan. Bill Buttlicker fills me with confidence. No, he really does. He really does.
Oh, Antoine's come in saying, yeah, last night paid off for sticking to your guns.
Antoine Seymour, thank you so much for that little reminder. And those reminders do really freaking help. Because there's sometimes when I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, am I on the wrong side of this shit? And then someone like Antoine Seymour says, Loshak, stick to your guns. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I am going to stick to my guns. Now, again, because you have to know yourself, you know, in early January, I might not stick to my guns. You know what I'm saying? But what?
Carlos Baroj still in the car from Friday.
Looking for a...
Get out of the car, Carlos.
This is another inside joke that in chat here, Carl Parosh has been making this joke saying that he's waiting for the great info from Friday. He's been waiting since Friday. Eric Hamburg saying, where does that bald spot end, Pete? You're going for the cheap joke there. No, that was a good joke. It was a cheap joke, but it was a good joke. I mean, it was a good joke. And you know, make your own jokes on that one. Anyone who wants to chime in with bald spot jokes, go for it. You know, it's a freebie there. Low-hanging fruit humor for the chat. All right. Anyway, and people who had the under on the Texas and Baylor game also got burned by OT, and that will happen in all sports. You're going to get burnt. You're never going to take an under and get saved by OT. You're only going to get screwed by OT when you take unders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's expected to happen half the time. And if you have an edge, you should expect it to happen more often than not. You know what I'm saying? Because if your plays are 54%, then you're going to get screwed 54% of the time and saved only 46% of the time. But all right, so I am going to throw on Oklahoma here, plus 7.5, minus 110. And again, what I was going to say was that in early January, I probably wouldn't stick to my guns in college basketball. At this point in college basketball season, I am going to stick to my guns, and I'll take it. Oklahoma plus 7.5. Another bet that I definitely made was I did take, here we go, these small road favorites can be, wow, okay. I bet St. Bonaventure at -2. It's now down to -1, which is not great to see. Although I believe yesterday there was some line movement that went against me that didn't matter at all. I was liking St. Bonaventure here. Obviously, St. Bonaventure way better than LaSalle. LaSalle is at home. LaSalle's not, you know, they can win a game, but I think they're less likely to win this one than to lose it against St. Bonaventure. There's something up with this line, and I might pull this one back by in the 6 o'clock show, but I'll take it. I mean, I did bet it at -2. I'm now going to take it at -1, -101. This is not line movement that I like to see, Jim.
No, but I know a bunch of great cappers on the Bonnies.
They are, huh?
Yeah, so
yeah. This is not that a move that I like to see, but I'm going to take it anyway. I did bet it. -1, -109 is -101 is the current line that I can get on that one. Another very interesting one, Boston College at Pittsburgh. Now, Boston College, of course, has had some pretty impressive wins this year, right, Jim? They beat Duke, and their last win was a great one. And Pittsburgh, of course, a lot of young guys. They're scrapping, though. You know, they're one of these teams that's just like, they know it's a lost season for them. They got a lot of young guys. They're going to be a big dog every game. And sometimes at the end of the year, teams like that can have repeated value as a big underdog. I cashed them recently as a big underdog against Miami. Remember that, Jim? And I was thinking about taking them here, although someone might be out for Pittsburgh because the line is now up to 8 or 8.5. Was 5.5 on the overnight line. Is someone out for Pittsburgh?
I can check.
Yeah, check to see if someone's out for Pittsburgh because that is a massive line move. That could be just money because of someone saying that this line is just way off because of how Pittsburgh's bad is, but that is a weird line move there. I was going to take a shot with Pittsburgh as a home dog in that one, but maybe not now anymore. Other ones also, Kansas at Iowa. Is anyone out for Pittsburgh?
I'm not there yet, sorry.
Okay. Also, another interesting game, obviously, Kansas at Iowa State. Kansas also has been overvalued this year at times, just like Oklahoma, and I actually will admit that I bet Iowa State at +6, and it's now up to 6.5 or 7. I don't like to see that one either, but Iowa State has repeatedly had good performances at home, right? They beat West Virginia outright. They beat a bunch of other guys outright. They've had some good results at home, and I took Iowa State at +6. I don't like to see this one up to a 7 either, but you know, I definitely am leading Iowa State here as an official pick. I might wait. Is anyone out for Pittsburgh?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I'm leaning Pittsburgh Pittsburgh plus the points. I'm leaning Iowa State plus the points. I'm just wondering if I wait till 6 o'clock, if these lines might go even higher. I mean, if Kansas is taking money, that's probably not going to stop now. That's probably going to be like 7.5 by 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Definitely.
Could be 8. And the Pittsburgh game, who knows where that could go? That could go to 9, 9.5, 10. But I'm definitely leaning both of those. I have to think about that one for a second. Georgetown, Butler. I'm definitely leaning Butler, but the points are a few too many. I feel like the spot favors Butler, but Georgetown is good enough that I'm not convinced they should be, getting 11.5. But that's definitely interesting. Akron at home against Ball State. Akron is not a great team, and they have been a bad bet in spots this year, but I do think that I'm willing to bet that this is a spot where they figure out a way to not stink up the joint, and I'd be leaning Akron +3 as well. Just moving on down the line, Arkansas and Ole Miss is very interesting. Ole Miss is, their coach has announced that he's going to be leaving this year, right? Mm-hmm. And Arkansas has turned a little bit of a corner recently, maybe. They're starting to play a little bit better defense, I think. Ole Miss is just having problems scoring. And I was leaning Arkansas here. I did bet it at +1, even though they're it's about a pick'em line on the road, and Ole Miss has been okay at times this year. Now it's up to 1.5 for Arkansas. So Arkansas is definitely taking money. And I might have to take that one right now, just because I don't know where this line is going to move. Ohio at Toledo. I was leaning Toledo there at -10.5. That's now down to 9.5 or 9. I'll have to look into that one a little bit more. But I think this is a good spot for Toledo and not a great spot for Ohio. And I was thinking that maybe I would take them. And now that it's down to a 9 at the Greek, that's definitely a lean of mine as well. Maybe I'll give all these leans as official picks, and the ones I don't like, just pull them back on the other side in the afternoon show. Eastern Michigan at home against Miami, Ohio. I liked Eastern Michigan at -4. That's now up to a -5. Maryland, Nebraska is a very interesting one, Jim. I know you followed Nebraska kind of close, right?
I do.
Now, Nebraska has been great recently, and they've been on a killer ATS run, right? They've covered like 8 of their last 9 or something ridiculous, right? They're at home against Maryland, though. The line was 3 on the overnight line. That had me a little bit nervous because I was like, this should be a little bit higher. It's now down to pick'em or 1. Is someone out for Nebraska?
No, but not at this point. I'll check right now, but Vitalis was talking about that this earlier. Let's see if I can. Yeah, he says, all right, let's get to the elephant in the room. Unfucking believable sharp action on Maryland tonight when everything points to Nebraska at home, all stats. They need this win for the bracket.
Right. That is weird line movement there. Now, if someone's out, that explains it. If someone's not out, that is weird, wild stuff there. Although we did see the same thing happen with that Minnesota game, you remember, but that was explainable.
Nobody's out.
It was because the Sharps thought that someone was going to play, and he wound up not playing. So that indicated that line movement. But if this is not personnel, so that was even personnel related. But this is not personnel related. Man, I don't understand that line movement, Jim. Man, I don't understand that line moving. I also did bet St. Peter's at Monmouth. I got 4.5, and this is the kind of game where these points will really matter. It's now down to 3, which is not – I mean, it's a good sign for my bet at 4.5, but I don't know if I want to take them at 3. I'm going to scratch my head a little bit, scratch my bald spot a little bit, and think about that, what I want to do here. But I did bet St. Peter's at 4.5, and now it's down to 3. Also, Central Michigan, Illinois, not quite understanding that line movement either. I bet Northern Illinois at -1. That's now down to pick'em. Northern Illinois is bad, but not that bad. And Richmond, Rhode Island, I did not have a chance to look at, and the other games I did not have a chance to look at. So as of right now, I've given St. Bonaventure -1, Minnesota +10, Oklahoma +7.5, and the games that I bet and have leans on would be Akron +3, Iowa State +7. I bet that one at +6. Arkansas -1.5. I bet that one at +1. Toledo at -9. I bet that one at 10.5. Unreal. Pittsburgh +8.5. Eastern Michigan -5. I bet that one at -4. And St. Peter's at +3. I bet that one at +4.5. And Northern Illinois at pick'em. I bet that one at -1. Jim, what comments coming in?
Just trying to figure out what the Nebraska line, the reason for it. Josh Miller says movement could be because Maryland's 4-1 last 5 against Nebraska. But Josh Miller likes Nebraska.
Also, Champions League is today. I wish I had time to handicap that, Jim, but I just don't. Soccer can be fun, Jim.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, but I just
you don't have time. It's similar to hockey, except no empty net goals, so you don't have to factor in that stuff. But yeah. All right, so let me just make a decision here on my official picks. And Josh Miller likes Nebraska. Any comments coming in, Jim, that you want to highlight?
Smooth is taking the over in the OKC game. Let's see. Searcy says right now picks are Nebraska, Vegas -1.5 in hockey, and St. Louis, Nashville under 5 at +145. I can't wait to get to the hockey.
We will
part.
get to I know, Jim. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Ole Miss says Ole Miss goes all out tonight. Yeah, I don't quite understand that line movement. I mean, I bet Arkansas, and that line moved in my favor. McGogster says he likes the Razorbacks. And let me just look at some comments here, putting someone on Kansas State, Iowa under. Al Hard asking about Al Hard. Did not have a chance to look at any of the totals, just the sides. I will look at the totals. Big Homie says Iowa State gets smacked in the face. That might happen. And then Payless Way likes a Cyclone. So let's see. Eric Hamburg says Kansas shouldn't be laying 6, let alone 7. All right, I am just scanning comments here to have to get some some insights. Baseball Bob says Pittsburgh is dog shit. Yes, they are. You know who else is dog shit? Marist. I won with them twice cashing, and I cashed with Pittsburgh against Miami. You remember that one, Jim? They are dog shit though. That's why we're getting 8.5 at home. Let's see. Darryl Lyle says taking Pitt. Just looking at some of these, Pac-Man Lil. Pac-Man Lil says, chilling, listen to the show. Thank you so much, Pac-Man Lil. Pac-Man Lil, thanks so much. All right, let's see. Baseball Bob says Bonnies are good to go. Oh, Native Queen already coming in. And, oh, no, that's Maxwell Smart addressing Native Queen. Okay, all right, okay. All right. So let me just make some of these leans into picks. And then we will, all right, so let me go. God, St. Peter's, man, fuck. All right, I'll take St. Peter's at +3, even though I got him at 4.5. This is exactly the kind of game where those kinds of points might very, very well matter. It's going to be a game, I think, that's going to be close and go down to the wire. But I will take St. Peter's +3, -105. That's the best line right now. Northern Illinois, I'll throw that one on there. What the hell? I might pull that one later, but I'll take that one. Northern Illinois, that's going to be Pick'em, -106. That's an official play. I'll make them all picks probably. What the hell? Iowa State, I'll take it. What the hell? Iowa State +7, -103. Man, that line is probably going to be 7.5 when we're sitting here at, let me just refresh this line, when we're sitting here at 6 o'clock. Iowa State +7, -103. That's going to be an official pick for me. And Akron, sure, what the hell? I'll throw that one on there as well. +3, -106. And let me see. Toledo. Sure, I'll throw that one on there as well. -9, -110. We'll see if I take any of these back. Pittsburgh and BC, I'll wait and think about that one, and we'll see where the line movement goes. But I will take that one. And moving on down the line, I guess that's about it for now. All right, so I took St. Peter's +3, St. Bonaventure -1, Minnesota +10, Toledo -9, Oklahoma +7.5, Northern Illinois Pick'em, Iowa State +7, and Akron +3. And the leans that I didn't give are. Arkansas, Ole Miss, I'll hold off on. Want to see what the line movement is on that one. Pittsburgh +8.5. That's a definite lean. Eastern Michigan -5. That's a lukewarm lean. Going on down the line. And I guess Buffalo -13 at home against Kent State, even though they haven't been cashing recently, is a lean as well, although Buffalo's definitely cooling off ATS-wise. All right, that's it for college basketball. Let's move on. Jimmy the Bag. Okay,
let's do it.
Let's move on to NBA, and let's throw that record up there, even though my record is, well, I had 2 winners yesterday and a couple other leans that cashed as well. I'm now in single digits in the negative units, but Jim, of course, is rolling in the NBA. Very nicely done, Jimmy the Bag. Is that record up there, Larry?
Yes.
All right. Very nicely done, Jimmy the Bag. Let's start with you, Jimmy the Bag. We've got a modest NBA card tonight. What are you liking here, Jim?
Sorry, I got to get through all this.
Go ahead.
Well, my first thing I was going to drop, I am now a little unsettled just because Reggie's on the other side. And let me see if this line has changed. I was on the under initially, and the movement's all going under. I'm going to stick with it. I think this is going to be a war in the paint between the Raptors and the Heat. Raptors have the best home record in the NBA at 23-4. One of their home losses was to these Heat, 90-89, but that was a game where the Heat took advantage of Kyle Lowry's absence. Raptors have won 5 straight, won each game by 15 or more points. That's the first time they've done that in franchise history. Toronto's bench has scored at least 50 points in each of the 5 games. No Raptor starters played over 30 minutes in any of the last 4 games, coming off a dominant 123-103 victory at Charlotte. OJ Anunoby will sit out due to an ankle sprain. The Heat stopped a 5-game losing streak when they beat the Bucks 91-85 on Friday night. Dwayne Wade's return. Heat are on the first half of a back-to-back. Kelly, you know what? I think maybe I won't take this now that I think about it. I won't because Kelly Olynyk and Anunoby won't be there. So they'll probably play James Johnson at the 4 with Whiteside at the 5. And I think it'll be an intense game, but I need Olnick and Anunoby in there for it to go under.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stay off this spot. But initially I was going to take the under until Reggie said over. And now that I think about, because I was thinking it's just going to be a war down low, but without two of their main key cogs in the paint for Miami, it might not be. Okay, I'm gonna stay off that game.
Yeah, that is a really tough game. Actually, on this NBA card, there's only one play that I was thinking I was liking. I didn't even like it enough to bet, so I actually have no bets officially on the card tonight. It looked like a tough card to me, and this is a very tough one. Miami's been very well rested. Toronto obviously rolling, and so the question is Toronto just going to continue to roll here, or is this a speed bump spot for them?
Yeah, the Heat always play the Raptors tough. I'm going to keep an eye on this spot, but you're right. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right, before we get to the Cleveland game, and then the Cleveland game is always the most interesting game on the card. For sure. Cleveland is officially the most interesting team in the NBA, aren't they, Jim?
Definitely.
I want to talk about the one game where I thought I might have, I might have had an edge. Sacramento at Dallas. Dallas actually covered 4 out of their last 5, but some of those were close. And Sacramento, I don't know, they might be a nice play here. You know, they're opening up the offense. They're getting more experience for De'Aaron Fox, and it just seems like they're the kind of team that is playing looking to play well and get guys experience, not necessarily win. And those kinds of teams, I like to bet them at this point in the NBA season as an underdog, especially against a team like Dallas that is good but not great. Is Sacramento maybe a good bet here, Jim?
They might be. Third meeting of the year, each team's held serve at home. Kings have beaten the Mavs 3 straight times in Dallas, have beaten them 5 out of 7 overall. And as you said, De'Aaron Fox now leading the way. George Hill traded, Frank Mason hurt. Fox is the only healthy point guard on the roster. He just put up 23 points. And they look very good against Minnesota. Minnesota is a great home squad. They lost just 111-106. Mavs have lost 8 of 10, coming off another game where they look good as well. 104-97 loss at Houston without Nowitzki, Matthews, or Beria. Dennis Smith Jr. went for 16 points and 11 assists. It'll be the Dennis Smith versus De'Aaron Fox show that will decide this game. Let's see. Madu 1984 NBA says over seems like a good play. How come the line is so low? And Big L Corleone says Kings great play tonight. What is the line for the total?
The line for the total is actually 206, and I was thinking, well, I mean, they did play recently and it went to 204, so it's understandable why this total would be where it is. But I was thinking maybe a shot with the over and maybe a shot with the Sacramento team total over or something. It's 206, although down to 205 at Heritage. Interesting. Wow. So it's 205, 205 and a half, or 206, although it did open at 204. I was thinking over.
Yeah, this is a game I'm going to spend more time with today and not make a decision at this point.
All right. Well, for now, I will. I'll throw on Sacramento. What the hell? I just feel like maybe it'll be a game that goes down to the wire one way or the other, relatively close, as the first game was. You know, I'll take Sacramento. Would love to be getting 7, but that doesn't appear to be available. So I'll just take Sacramento plus 6.5 minus 108. That's the best line there. That's not a terrible play, Jim, right?
No, definitely not.
All right, let's get to the Cleveland game. Fun as hell, right? Is Cleveland Jimmy the Bag? Here you go. Up double digits in NBA, so you're the one who has to give us an informed answer on this one. Are the Cleveland Cavaliers now rejuvenated and a good bet going forward?
It looks like they are. C.D. Osman in the starting lineup, going to stay in the starting lineup. Finally, they have somebody who can defend the perimeter. It looks like Russell Westbrook will be in the lineup tonight. A big line there from Reggie says, I'm a Mavs fan and I'm leaning Kings.
Nice. Reggie said that.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm on the Kings. I already gave it. Nice to hear, Reggie.
And so I understand why they're going to keep CD in the starting lineup and leave Hood on the bench at this point. He did a great job shutting down Kyrie Irving, and now it looks like Westbrook in the lineup, so we'll see how he does on Westbrook. Cavs have won 3 straight. They're still scoring a lot, at least 121 in each of those games. Carmelo Anthony will also be back after missing 2 games with an ankle sprain. Since Andre Robertson went down with a season-ending injury 8 games ago, the Thunder haven't figured out who to play the 2 spot. I can't believe that they didn't make a move at the deadline. They've tried Ferguson, Hustis, and now Abrinas. This is a bad spot for them, and I think Abrinas will be the guy moving forward. The Thunder lost the first 4 games after Robertson's injury, but have won 2 of 3. I think the Cavs, and I am hesitant to say that, but I think they have figured it out. Mm-hmm. And, with both Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony coming back from injury, it's Is
Westbrook going to play tonight?
Yes, in my everything I've read that says both Westbrook and Anthony will be back tonight. Chris Postal says ride this Cavs train. Omar Magana, who we love, says Cavs are going to spank Thunder. They owe them that loss at Cleveland. Greg Schneider says JR is finally shooting like the old JR. G Money Top Shelf says I agree with the Cavs going on a run. LeBron looks so happy when he is rolling. The team rolls.
And it does seem like OKC maybe with Westbrook in is maybe a little overvalued.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. This is a very interesting spot, and Omar says I'm even thinking of doing the Cavs -4. Make some extra cash there.
Yeah. Do you want to give a pick on this one, Jim?
I'm going to keep an eye on this line, but after breaking it down, it does feel like the Cavs could easily be the play. And Smooth talking about CD, the way he's playing it, I don't know why they didn't go to him sooner. Yeah, I'm gonna keep studying this one. I'm not gonna make a play on this yet, but I'll have a play on it by the end of the day. Andrew says Cavs bench will outscore OKC. OKC has no bench. That's the right thing. Baseball Bob says Dwayne Wade was a cancer in the locker room. It's hard to imagine that, but possibly. I'm going to stay off this game at this point.
Okay. All right. What else do you want to give from the NBA, if anything, Jim?
I am going to give the Nuggets against the Spurs. Both teams are dealing with injury problems, but the Spurs are really dealing with it. Nuggets are missing bigs, Paul Millsap, Mason Plumlee. Spurs, Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, Rudy Gay. Spurs are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing 101-99 at Utah last night. We know that Pop doesn't care about this situation, and the Nuggets do. Spurs also don't care about their road record, 13-17 away. The Spurs have won both meetings between these two teams at home. Nuggets are going to want to give them some payback. Nuggets are coming off a 123-113 win at Phoenix. It was their first since they traded Medaille and traded for Devin Harris. The idea behind the trade is to stop playing Barton at point guard, let him focus just on scoring from the small forward spot. They're 22-7 at home. I think this is a nice spot for the Nuggets, and I think that they can win easily.
All right, so the line has gotten bet down a little bit. It is 6 or 5.5 from -7, and we can give you the bookmaker line. Denver -5.5, -105.
Love it.
All right, -5.5. Yeah, so Spurs are having problems. I know that, but last night I didn't take him on the full game, but I took him on the second half, and it was a spot where I would normally have a no-brainer play on the team on the second half. But I was thinking maybe are the Spurs, because you were talking about how the Spurs are just too banged up and they don't have the players now, but they did wind up covering the second half.
They did.
And so are they really depleted, or maybe not that bad?
Well, I mean, they got Murray and Parker back, which we weren't sure if that was going to happen. That's a big deal. DeJounte Murray is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Him and Kyle Anderson can do so many different things. I really, the Spurs are just, they're a well-coached team. They're a veteran group. They're always, if you just took them anytime they're dogs, you would be successful.
Right.
But this is asking for too much, and we know that Pop doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about forcing the issue on a back-to-back. He doesn't care about forcing the issue on a road game. Because of that, Sammy Camaccioni just comes in and says Nuggets roll at home. I agree. I see this as a spot where Pop is not going to push his players. He's not going to force it. And, I like the Nuggets.
Okay,
here.
Nice job. Jim getting Denver -5.5, -105. What else do you like for the NBA, Jim?
At this point, that's the only move I'm going to make. Obviously, the Rockets-Timberwolves is a marquee battle. Rockets first half of a back-to-back. Ariza's missed the last 7 games. Houston coming off a 104-97 victory at home over Dallas. Their 8th straight win. They've talked in-house about wanting to go out with 10 straight wins going into the All-Star break. That's a big deal to them. They have a league-leading offensive rating, 8th in defensive rating. They're a very good team. Rockets won their only matchup with the Wolves, 116-98 in Houston. They're 20-7 on the road. Wolves have won 13 straight at home, league second-best home record, third-best offensive rating, but their defensive rating's fallen to 25th. It's what's going to hold this team back. 2 excellent offenses with contrasting styles as the Timberwolves have the second fewest made three-pointers in the league against the Rockets, who lead the league. Interesting spot, and I'm not going to make a move on this game at this point.
All right. There's definitely some interesting comments that have come in. Let me read some of these comments. A lot of people talking about the Cavs first half and first quarter. Brent Brooks says parlay Cavs and Philly first quarter. Barkerman G11 says Cavs first quarter and first half. And then Native Queen said jump on Cavs first quarter and first half until the books catch up. And everyone is liking that one. Some other comments though are let me see. Jensen Bonzone, Cavs right now are in a honeymoon phase, not a real threat. I mean, there's always going to be a honeymoon phase anytime a team makes a change like that. But are they a real threat or not? I'm not exactly sure if I would say no. Native Queen and others certainly liking the Cavs' first quarter and first half regardless, which even when they were in their shitting the bed phase, they were still a good bet first quarter and first half.
They certainly will.
So,
yeah, they certainly were.
Whether they're on their honeymoon with flowers all around the bed or shitting the bed with just shit on the bed and on the side of the bed, they've always been a good bet first half, first quarter.
Always been a good bet early.
Unreal. So maybe we should throw that one on there as well. Let's see. Other comments here. Other people saying that that the over in the Dallas Sacramento game is a good play, and I was thinking that way as well. I might throw on the full game over and also the Sacramento team total over. DJ Big Boss says Cavs might go 10-0 after the All-Star break. Okay.
Wow. One
Score says I'm a Nugs fan and easy play on the Nuggets. Wow. Steve likes the Dallas over, Pete, as well. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's see. Other comments. Oh, wow. Justin Searcy, Nuggets minus 5.5. Oh, I really like that play. Wow. That was like dialogue there. Nuggets 5.5. Oh, I really like that play. Wow. Everyone. Nando Cuevas. Nice on Denver pick, Jim. And then the Kilted Chimp says, agree with the honeymoon Cavs. Wow, Ulysses Hayes likes the Cleveland money line. Wow, okay. And Remy CV, I do like Cavs first half. All right, Jim, why don't you pick another game while I decide whether I want to tail some of these leans in the chat here, Jim?
Smooth says, where's the info for Carmelo? Everything I've read says he's playing and good to go for both. I would be shocked. Truly, I'd be shocked if one of them doesn't play today. Hawks at Bucks is an interesting spot. Bucks have won 8 of 10 since firing Kidd. Henson will likely be out until after the All-Star break with a groin injury. That he adds to Brogdon, Teletovic, and Dellavedova all out long-term, although Henson's not out long-term. Jabari Barker will be back after not being cleared to play in the second half of back-to-backs. He's looking okay, 9.3 points, 17.8 minutes. Bucks are 18-9 at home after beating the Pistons at home on Sunday night. 118-115. The Hawks have won 3 of 5. Dwayne Dedmon just put up a career-high 20 points in that contest. It was his first start since returning from a stress fracture. I don't know why Budenholzer wasn't starting him. He says he will start him from now on. Hawks are just 5-22 on the road, but I think we're going to find value on them moving forward. But I don't know if it's here, but I do like them without Henson in the lineup. What is the line right now?
Let me
Plus
see.
7.5.
Let me see. For Atlanta, 7.5.
I like them. I like them here with Henson out. I like the Hawks bigs. I mean, yeah, the Bucks are a very good team, but I think the Hawks are in a good spot here. I've talked all year about how much I like certain parts of this team, and it really is Dedmon. I love Dedmon. I love Schroeder. I'm going to take the Hawks at the plus 7.5. I think
that's what I was thinking as well. Milwaukee won and covered 3 or 4 on their road trip. Now they return home. And my note on this one was maybe with a bunch of Ys, maybe Atlanta here getting this many points. And that's how you feel, Jim, right?
I do, especially with Henson being out. I mean, if you look at the Bucks depth chart, their bigs are it's just. They needed to add to that. And then I love the way the Hawks are playing and how they feel about themselves. I love that Dedmon is back in the starting lineup. Searcy says Bucks feels like too many points. I agree. I agree. I'm happy that we talked this game out. I'm happy to take the Bucks.
I'm happy too. I'm going to go on it with you, Jim. I'm going to take Atlanta as well. We're both going to get plus 7.5 minus 108. Plus 7.5 minus 108. How do you feel about that, Jim?
I like it. Mr. Cloudkick says Hawks are terrible on the road. Jimmy, you're right. 5-22 on the year. Ulysses Hayes says I like Atlanta plus 7.5. It's always good to have Ulysses on your side. Jansen Bonzone says the same thing. Atlanta awful on the road. But you know what? That doesn't bother me that they're so bad on the road. This is a funny time right before the All-Star break where some teams will continue to care and some teams won't care as much. Now, the Bucks aren't a team that's not going to care, but the Hawks are still going to give it their all. And I'm telling you, having Dedmon in the starting lineup is a big deal. Okay,
I'm going to tell you on that one, Jim. I also made a couple other decisions here. I'm going to take a shot with Denver on the first half. What do you think about that? They should come out rolling, right? Why not?
They should come out rolling. What's the line?
It's minus 3 or 3.5. So I'm going to take it Denver minus first half minus 3 minus 110. That's the current line at Intertops and Bookmaker and a few other places. Other places have 3.5. Thank you, Intertops, providing us the best line with Denver on the first half. I'm taking Denver first half minus 3 minus 110, and I think I am going to do the old Cleveland first quarter, first half double up. Regardless of what phase they're in, they've been a good bet first half and first quarter. Let me just look at the first quarter right now. Cleveland, it would be about plus 0.5, and the first half would be plus 1. What do you think? This is kind of like a blind play here.
I tell you what, I think your Nuggets first half is a great play.
Yes.
And
you want to double up?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jim's now taking Denver. First half -3, -110. That does count as a tail of me, but not really, because it's really a tail of me tailing him, so it's not really a tail of me.
It's probably a better spot than my 5.5.
All right, and what do you think about Cleveland on the first quarter, first half? Should we go for it, Jim? I say why not? I'm going to spend more time with this Cleveland Thunder game. Some of the books have taken it off the board, which means that obviously it's not as certain that Carmelo and if that is the case, then maybe this is the right time to take the Cavs. I'm taking it. Cleveland first quarter plus a half -102. That's going to be an official pick. Cleveland first quarter plus a half. It'll be annoying if they win the game, win the first half, and then lose the first quarter, which happened to me again in NHL last night, Jim. I said I liked the over in the Toronto game. I bet it at 6. Of course, it goes way over, but my official pick in the show, what was it? First period over, which loses. Unreal. I just gotta stop getting cute. Just make your friggin' picks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get cute. No, I like the over, but I'm going to take the first quarter. No, just give it. If you want to double up, but just give the friggin' picks. But for now, I might add the first half in the 6 o'clock show as well, or at the end of this show. But as of right now, I'm going to take the first quarter plus a half -102. All right, Jim, we do have to get on to NHL. Any other picks you want to give?
No, that's everything at this point. But I'm going to continue looking at it.
All right, we didn't talk about Houston, Minnesota, which is an interesting game. Houston's also been a team that's been good in the first quarters.
We talked about Houston, Minnesota.
Oh, that's right, we did. Okay, okay, all right. So once again, Jim is taking Denver first half -3, -5.5, and Atlanta plus 7.5. I'm on Sacramento plus 6.5. Cleveland first quarter plus a half, Denver first half -3, and Atlanta plus 7.5, and that's it for me in NBA. All right, now let's move on to NHL. Once again, Jimmy's NBA record does not offset his woes in college basketball, and his NHL record, which is even better than his NBA record, also is not enough to offset his woes in college basketball. Well, let's throw the record up anyway. Let's admire this. Jim is now into the plus 20s in NHL. Very nicely done, Jim. Swept the board yesterday in NHL with some ballsy money line picks. You know what I mean? A lot of people are saying Chicago's going to dominate. This is where Chicago bounces back. They're going to roll Arizona. Arizona sucks. No, Arizona cashed easily. Tough game, Tampa Bay and Toronto. You were probably on the right side there. Cash with that one. And, of course, we hit with the Edmonton game. That was one that I liked as well. NHL, there's a lot of actually picks. This is the one that I did bet a lot on tonight. Big card. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with you, Jim. What's one play that you're liking?
Well, I'm going to start off with the most controversial play, although I have a ton of puck lines here. This is kind of like a puck line. I am on the Chicago Blackhawks this evening. This is when the Blackhawks, Taves, and Kane step up. Now, they've been snake bit. They outshot the Coyotes 38-22 in that loss. When they were shut out 3-0 on Saturday night by the Wild, they outshot them 44-19. This is a spot where we're getting a ton of value on this Blackhawks squad, and I'm going to take them. I really think this is a sneaky spot for them. They're last place in the Central. They've lost 6 straight. Corey Crawford practiced on Monday. He's unlikely to be there tonight, but at least they'll feel good about him in the dressing room. Forsberg got lit up, so Glass will be there. Blackhawks are 12-12-5 on the road. It's not like they've been getting destroyed on the road. Vegas is looking susceptible for the first time all year. Why not grab them here, especially when we know that the Blackhawks didn't spend all night getting drunk in Vegas.
You know who else didn't the last time they went in there? Philly was on a back-to-back, and I'll tell you, I wish that was a Saturday game, but I nailed that one. I had Philly and the under on that one. This one, I would tend to agree with you, except that Chicago's not as good as Philly and Glass and goal. I was going to do this with you, Jim, and I was going to take the under as well. But then when I saw Glass was listed, I was like, man, I can't do that. But you don't care with Glass.
I don't care. I don't care at all. And this is Glass. Glass sees the writing on the wall. If he has a great start here, he stays in the NHL. He knows this is the most important start maybe of his whole life.
Red Book says Glass is clown shoes.
You know what? People shat all over me yesterday when I picked the Coyotes. I don't give a fuck. They shat all over me. They shat all over me now. Knights are 2-0 against Chicago this year. 19-4-2 at home, 6-4-0 in their last 10. That's the worst record they've had over the last 10.
They did chat all over you yesterday, Jim. Now, let me ask you this. If you think a Glass is going to be okay, then maybe the under is good, because I was leaning under as well.
I'm not saying he's going to be okay. I'm just saying that this is the most – after Forsberg fucked up the start, he knows that if he has a monster start, he stays in the NHL. I know no one's going to like the Blackhawks. It doesn't matter to me. But nice to see the word Civ spelled right and used right here by G-Money Top Shelf. I don't care. I'm on the Blackhawks money line.
Okay. Let the shitting upon Jim begin, because Jim is taking Chicago money line, and we're going to give you plus 190. That's the best line. at Bookmaker.
Love it.
Come on, guys. Shit on him. Shit on him right now. He's going against Vegas at home. Unreal. Awesome. I love the balls, Jim. I was thinking that way as well, I'll be honest, and I was thinking about the under, and I might throw that one on the 6 o'clock show. A lot of other plays that I was liking. Why don't you hit us with another game, Jim, that you're liking here?
Sure. I'm just going to go down, start going down the puck lines in order, in no particular order.
Okay, but go slow enough so I can write them all down.
Well, we'll just go game by game. Okay. So first off, I am going to take the Bruins on the puck line this evening. Mike Smith was injured with 11 seconds left in Sunday's 3-2 victory at the Islanders. It's unclear how long he'll be out for. Riddick has looked great. Riddick's looked great. Now he takes the reins as number one goaltender. I don't think that's much of a loss at first. It's always tougher to see a goalie play game in, game out, over 7 or 8 games. Flames are on the 5th game of a 6-game road trip. That's not easy, although they've been very good on the road this year. Goodrow was just named NHL's second star of the week. They're 4-3-3 over the last 10. Bruins are coming off a 5-3 win at New Jersey on Sunday night. They're 19-2-4 in their last 25. Rask will be back in goal, and he just had a very bad spot against the Sabres. He's going to want to come in and fucking show that he's just upset. He's upset about the Sabres game. I think this is a great spot. Because the Flames are playing so well on the road, you're going to get a nice number, and I'm going to take it on the puck line.
Except that you're not getting that nice of a number. You're getting Boston's like a minus 180 favorite.
Yeah, it's still that's not bad for the Bruins. I mean, I'm taking the Pens today, and I'm going to get a way worse number there.
Okay, puck line, best line would be plus 165. I was thinking about Boston, too. I had 2 concerns. One, that Calgary is playing competitively, and 2 is that backup goalie has been playing well.
Riddick has been playing great.
So you're not concerned about either of those situations?
I see the Bruins at home at plus 165 as value because I've taken them at plus 135 before. Yeah. So I see it as value and a risk worth taking.
Okay, I might join you on that one. I'm going to think about it while you're looking at another game. What else do you like here, Jim?
I'm on the Hurricanes puck line as well this evening. Kings are another good road squad. 16-11-2 on the road, 6-4-0 over their last 10. Coming off a 4-3 loss at Tampa that actually was worse than it looked. They were down 4-1 early, and Tampa just took the pedal off the gas. They've scored 17 goals over the last 4 games and are now 18th in the league in offense, averaging 2.9 goals per game. Their offense will only improve when they get Jeff Carter back, but it won't improve tonight because they'll be without Dustin Brown, who was suspended for a game for kneeing Sergachev, and they'll be without Trevor Lewis, who has returned to LA after an undisclosed injury. Canes are coming off a 3-1 home win over the Avalanche on Saturday night. They've won 2 straight. They're now 4-2-1 on this season-high 8-game homestand. That means so much to them. They've only allowed 7 goals over the last 4 games. And I like them here tonight on the puck line.
Okay, the best line right now for Carolina will be plus 225. That also comes to us once again from Intertops. Thank you very much, Intertops, for providing the best line there. I was thinking about the under. What do you think about that, Jim?
I think the under is a good play, but and I looked at that too, but it's so juiced.
Yeah.
It's just so juiced. And when I saw how juiced it was, I was like, oh, man, maybe the over is actually. But then I was like, no, I'm not just going to do it just because I see a big plus number.
I actually bet it at minus 123, Jim. It's now down to a minus 130, so I got a better line than that. Yeah. All right, so once again, I'm leaning towards taking Boston minus 1 with Jim, leaning towards taking the under on the Carolina game. What else do you like, Jim?
Patrick, like, so funny. He says that Patrick Kane is in the Sportsbook right now betting Vegas puck line. So okay, I'm on the Philadelphia Flyers on the puck line this evening. The Devils look awful. We talked about it a few weeks ago, how they were led by these rookies, other than, of course, Taylor Hall. They were led by these rookies, and the rookies have hit the wall. Now they have Schneider on the shelf, and they're in trouble. They've lost 4 straight, 8 of 11. Schneider will be out for another week. Kincaid's lost 3 straight starts. Eddie Lack was in net for the 5-3 loss to the Bruins. Devils went 0 for 7 on the power play and allowed 2 shorthanded goals. Taylor Hall's on a 14-game point streak. He's playing very well. Devils are 12-10-5 on the road, 3-7-0 in their last 10. Flyers have won 4 straight. All of a sudden, they're just 1 point back of the Pens for second and 5 back of the Capitals for the lead in the division. How is this happening? They're 28-2 since December 4th. Those 42 points are the most in the division during that time. But Brian Elliott suffered yet another lower body injury in their shootout win over the Coyotes, and Newvirth is in a good spot. We saw him come in after the All-Star break saying all the wrong things about how now he's got to turn it on again, all this bullshit. But now he's saying all the right things. Drew said he was the best player versus Vegas. Coming off a 4-1 win at Vegas, they're only the 4th team to go in and beat Vegas. Drew was just named first star of the week. Flyers are 14-9-5 at home, 6-3-1 over the last 10, and I'm taking them on the puck line this evening. Okay, I was thinking about the over on this one. I bet it at 5.5 minus 108, Jim. It's now up to 6 at Heritage, 5.5 over a few other places. So you're taking the Philly puck line, huh? Yes.
All right, let's see. Best line would be at Pinnacle right now, plus 204, plus 204. Okay, so there we go. Philly puck line, plus 204. Are the Devils that bad? Because I was thinking this might be a sneaky good spot to try to take a play on the Devils. No?
No, not with their goal, not with Kincaid playing the way he is in net, and not with these. They just hit the wall. So no, I think the Flyers are rolling right now.
You think that the Devils can score enough to push this game over?
Well, in the past, I haven't trusted I trust him and not trust. But Newvirth is a guy who's not that strong mentally, and he's feeling really good about himself right now. He's the first goalie to ever come in the middle of a shootout and win it. And then he came in and had a great game. Drew saying best player on the ice, all this shit. He needs to hear those things.
Because I bet the over at 5.5, and it's definitely gone up at 5.5 minus 108, and it's definitely gone up about 7 points or so. What do you think about that?
That was a good spot.
What do you think about that,
I think
Jim?
you got him in a good
spot.
spot.
All right, I'm going to continue to think about this. What else do you like, Jim?
I'm on the Penguins puck line this evening. Senators coming off a 6-3. Now, I know this is a low puck line.
Yeah.
But the times I've taken these really low puck lines, I've actually had great success because I stay off them most of the time. And only when I really trust the team do I take them. Senators coming off a 6-3 loss on Saturday night in Toronto. They're playing awful. They're 1-1-9 at PPG Arena since they opened it in 2010. 7-15-4 on the road. 4-6-0 over the last 10. Penguins are coming off a good-looking 2-game road trip against 2 tough teams in Dallas and St. Louis. It was a sign that this team is fucking rolling. They went 1-0-1, allowed just 4 goals in regulation against 2 very difficult teams in their own barn. They've won 8 straight at home, 12-4-1 in 2018. Pens are 27-1 at home, 7-2-1 over the last 10. I'm on them with the puck line.
Okay, best line would be plus 127 at Pinnacle, and this is another one where I was thinking maybe a shot with the over. I know that it's a high total here, and it's probably not going to be a close game, so you probably won't get an empty netter. But still, you got Condon in goal for Ottawa, right? What do you think about a shot with the over here?
What line are you getting?
Well, it is a little bit high there. What did I bet it at? Yeah, it's 6. It's 6. It's a little high, right?
You know what? I think it's a good spot. There's no doubt about it. I think it's a good spot. What would you get at 6?
You know, like 103, something like that, minus 103.
I think it's a good spot. The Penguins are a team that doesn't usually overexert themselves once they're up 3-1 or 4-0 or something like that. They play tight defensively. They'll try to give Sid and Malkin breaks.
All right, I'm going to get cute once again here, and I am going to take officially right now the first period over. Minus 119 right now. Minus 119. I got burned doing this yesterday. I might throw on the full game over as well, but I will take the first. I'm just concerned that it winds up being like, a 4-1, 5-1 type game, and then they just sort of like play out the third quarter and no one scores and nothing happens. I'm going to take the first period over here. Ottawa-Pittsburgh, minus 119 currently at Pinnacle, and Jim is on the Pittsburgh puck line, plus 127. What else are you liking, Jim?
I am on the Minnesota Wild puck line this evening. Rangers are coming off an impressive 3-1 win at Winnipeg. Remember when we started fading the Islanders, when we started fading the Sabres, we were doing it all under the same idea that they had lost 2 of their top 6 defensemen. Yeah. Well, now the Rangers have lost 3 of their top 6 defensemen. They're moving forward with McDonough, Shattenkirk, and Stahl out with injuries. Now they're coming off that impressive 3-1 win. They've now won back-to-back games after a 4-game losing streak. The perfect time to fade these guys is right now. Rangers are 9-14-2 on the road, 3-7-0 over their last 10, and they're feeling good about themselves. The kids are playing well. They know that there's about to be a fire sale. The Wild are coming off a 3-0 shutout of the Blackhawks on Saturday night. Dubnyk looks like he's back, playing great, made 44 saves in that shutout. They're now 1-0-1 on a crucial 5-game homestand. This is whether they're going to make the playoffs is about this 5-game homestand. And this is a team that dominates at home. 19-4-5 at home, 6-2-2 in their last 10. I'm taking them on the puck line.
Okay, I looked at that game obviously as well. My only concern is that the Rangers have shifted things a little bit, right? They've announced that they're in a rebuilding mode. They're playing youngsters. They're playing pressure-free, and that does concern me a little bit. They've won 2 in a row. You don't think they've turned a corner and become one of these teams that's playing a lot of youngsters and playing pressure-free and has good value as an underdog?
There might be a point, you might have a point there, but you take 3 defensemen out of a top 6 unit, I'm going to fade them every single time. Now, Ulysses Hayes says New York Rangers money line. Trust me, You
don't think that the Rangers are going to start playing youngsters to replace those guys who will start playing well?
They're going to start. That's what they've done. They're replacing them with youngsters. There's another guy coming in tonight. Yeah. But I think that this is a perfect spot for the Wild. Perfect because the Rangers have won 2 straight. And now we're going to get a little bit extra cash because of it. And I like this play a lot, and obviously don't like going against Ulysses, but going to do it here.
The buck line for Minnesota is plus 145. And what do you think about the over? You think that Minnesota can put up points against the Rangers? You think that Dubnyk will hold the Rangers down?
I think that the overs are going to be in short supply with the Wild at home moving forward. They're going to play defensive, tight defensive game. Dubnyk seems like he's playing very well right now. All
right, move on. What else do you like, Jim?
Those are all my plays. Now, I've got every game capped.
What about Columbus Islanders over? I know that's an obvious play, but I did bet it. I beat that line move a little bit as well. I think I got minus 108 or something. It's now up to minus 110 or 113. Again, a no-brainer Islanders play at home, but why not, Jim?
I think that is a good one. What line is that over now?
6. I bet it at minus 108. Now, if I wanted, I could get 110 at the Greek.
Jackets coming off a 6-1 win at home over the Devils on Saturday night. Snapped a 5-game losing streak. Bobrovsky's not looked good in February. 1-3-0, 2.80 goals against average, .895 save percentage. Had lost 4 straight and 7 of 8 before that nice performance against the Devils. Jackets continue to have terrible special teams. That's why they will not make the playoffs. League's worst power play at 14% success rate. 27th in penalty killing at 75.4. Artemi Panarin at 15 goals, 36 is the only Jacket forward over 30 points. Jackets are 11-13-3 on the road, 3-6-1 over their last 10. Islanders are coming off a 3-2 home loss to the Flames. They continue to get incredible production from their forwards and not enough from their D. Thankfully, Johnny Boychuk has returned to the lineup because they're missing DeHaan for the year, and Mayfield's a big loss. His toughness is a big loss. Islanders are 15-9-4 at home, 4-4-2 in the last 10. I can see that play.
All right, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to double up. The full game over 6, minus 110, and the first period over minus 120. Minus 110 is at the Greek, and minus 120 is I forgot where it is. Yeah, the over 6, minus 110 is at the Greek, and the first period over would be at minus 120 at sportsbetting.ag and Intertops minus 120 and BetOnline. All right, then also some people talked about this earlier. St. Louis and Nashville on the under. I did bet that one. I think I got a good line and beat the move, and I would be thinking about doubling up on this one as well. I believe it's going to be Hutton. Is it Hutton in goal for St. Louis?
We're expecting it. I don't know. You guys could tell the chat can tell us if that's confirmed, but that's what we are expecting at this point.
And of course, Pekka Rinne playing great, right? And why would we not like the under here?
He is playing exceptionally well right now. What is the line you're getting on the under?
Let me see. Well, I bet it. I think I bet the line right now would be about minus 126 or minus 130 on the under, and I think I bet it right around minus 123 or something like that.
I was going through I couldn't sleep last night, and I was going through my plays in the NHL and what's been working, what's not been working. I'm not doing well on my unders. When we're together on an over, I have a pretty nice success rate, but for whatever reason, I have lost money on my unders this year. And seriously says I thought Allen was probable.
Oh, really?
So let's wait till we get a little more information there, and I'll look it up too if we don't get it from the chat. Ulysses says Hutton is confirmed.
Okay.
Man, Blues are coming off 4-1 home loss to the Penguins on Sunday. They were outshot 34-23. They'd beaten division rivals Colorado and Winnipeg by combined 11-3 in their previous 2 games. Predators are coming off a 3-2 shootout win in Montreal. They were outplayed for huge chunks of that game. Rinne had to make 47 saves. They finished 2-2 on their 4-game road trip with every game going to overtime or a shootout. Vegas is now just 1 point ahead of the Preds for first in the conference. Rinne's not only been very good this year, but he's been dominant against the Blues this year. He's allowed 1 goal to them. 2-0 and 2-1 victories. In Nashville's 4-2 series victory over St. Louis in the playoffs last year, Rinne only allowed 11 goals. I could see why you are. I could see why you're making this play. Absolutely.
All right.
See it,
I don't necessarily love to double up on a game like this, but I'm going to start trusting my instincts just a little bit. The first period under, I'm going to take it minus 115. That's at a bunch of places. And the full game under, I will take it minus 126. That's at BetOnline, at Pinnacle, and a few other places. So I'm taking St. Louis, Nashville. First period under, minus 115. And the full game under, minus 126. And let me just scan for some other plays that I was thinking about. Yeah, I did make Minnesota. I did bet Minnesota. I did bet them. I'm just a little bit nervous that I hate betting against teams in both NBA and NHL at this point in the season where they start to bring in young guys. They're a big underdog game in and game out. They're playing pressure free. They're not trying to win. They're just trying to get experience for the young guys. Big underdog game in, game out. I always like to bet on those teams and not bet against them. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I feel you. I get it. But because they've won 2 straight, I think this is a good spot.
Okay.
If they hadn't have won 2 straight,
So I was definitely leaning Minnesota -1, definitely leaning over in New Jersey, Philadelphia, definitely leaning under in LA, Carolina, but I'm going to wait on that one. And also, yeah, and I guess that's about it. I was thinking that Ottawa might come in here and not that they're going to win, but that the line was just a little bit too big. But obviously, your read on Pittsburgh has been, for the most part, dead on over the past month or two. And then let's quickly talk about the Anaheim game, right? They're going into Detroit. In general, you've been looking to bet on Anaheim. You've been kind of high on them. They've been about 50-50 recently, though. Now they're going into Detroit, and the goalie's been playing great, though. Gibson, what do you think about Anaheim here?
I thought a lot about Anaheim here, but the Red Wings are scoring, and we've been waiting for them to score for a long time. Ducks are coming off a 3-2 shootout loss at home to the Sharks. They had a 2-0 lead going into the third period. It was the 8th time this season that the Ducks have let a third period lead disappear. They've sent 6 of those games to overtime or shootout, but they've lost an NHL high 11 games in overtime or a shootout. Corey Perry has started to heat up for the first time all season. 3 goals, 4 assists in his last 4 games after scoring just 4 goals in his previous 22. On Sunday, the Red Wings allowed a 4-1 lead to disappear. They still recovered to win 5-4 in overtime against the Capitals. Came on the heels of letting the Islanders come back, which fucking broke my heart in a 7-6 overtime loss on Friday night.
Jim, we got people. We got to wrap the show up. We also got to address a quick comment here. Boss Hog 707 says these are bullshit picks. You guys don't even put money on these picks. It's just a show. Boss Hog 707. Eat my ass, you cocksucker. You don't know shit about us. You don't know shit about us. Hey, Boss Hog 707. Eat my ass, cocksucker. Stop watching the show. Get your ass out of here. And don't come back. I better not see you back here. You want to come back, have another commenter name. Change your commenter name, Boss Hog 707. We don't want you here. Get your ass out of here.
Yeah, I would have fucking slept last night if I wasn't making these fucking bets, you fucking asshole.
Did I tell him off good there, Jim?
You did.
All right, I told him off good there, Jim. All right. Oh, he commented again. Where is he? Oh, now he's laughing. Now he's laughing. All right, you can stay. Boss Hog is laughing. All right, Boss Hog, you can stay. I apologize. Boss Hog, don't go away. Keep commenting. I'm just here for the fade. Oh, that's okay. No, but that's okay.
That's fine, yeah.
I mean, if you think handicappers have an edge on tailing their picks, that's a legitimate reason to follow them. If you think they have an edge fading them, that's just legitimate. All right, we got to go. We got to wrap it up. We got someone at the door. We will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time reviewing all of our picks. Thanks so much.